So today, we're on the hunt for one of the most affordable places you could find in Raleigh while still maintaining a high quality of life. So the criteria is simple. It needs to be below the median sales price, which is $445,000. It needs to be in a decent condition, meaning Class B real estate or higher. And then lastly, it needs to have access to great amenities that you would expect of the average home in Raleigh. And with that, I picked out a townhome that I think meets all of this criteria. And as opposed to the last couple of videos, this time we're actually going to walk through it. Northwest Raleigh is characterized by the integration of Crabtree Mall and Umstead Park, which ensures that both nature and commercial amenities are accessible. It's also adjacent to the Research Triangle Park, giving it great central access. And as far as homes, it's common to see homes built in the 80s and 90s with some new construction. Now, before walking through the home, let's talk about why people choose Northwest Raleigh. One of the biggest reasons, which I sort of just alluded to, is that it's in a prime central location. The main road that's running through Northwest Raleigh is Glenwood Avenue, which literally leads all the way to the heart of downtown. Heading into the opposite direction, it also leads to Umstead Park and RTP. This means that you have great access to outdoor amenities, work amenities, and leisure amenities. But they also maintain a high quality of lifestyle standards here, and you could see a good mix of affordable homes, median price homes, and entry-level luxury homes all within the same area. Now with that, let's go and check out the townhome that I picked out that I think is a great match for this. All right, so we're at the townhouse. I got the front door open, and before walking through, just a little bit about this house up front. So it's 8822 Orchard Grove Way. This is in Northwest Raleigh, close to Umstead Park, right? It is listed for $375K, 2 bedrooms, 4 bath at 1,839 square feet. And it's listed by the Linda Craft team, and big shout out to Kim, who is on that team and helped me organize the shoot today. So appreciate that. Definitely a good area, as you can see from behind me. I've actually shown 2 other homes, or 2 other townhomes in this area. All of them are in pretty good condition from what I've seen. And if you go that direction, you're gonna hit the main road running through the neighborhood, and you're gonna see single family detached homes as well, right? So this is a community mix of townhomes and detached homes that are pretty decent in size, right? So we'll walk through that. And this is a 3-story home. Everything here is built on slab. They have gutters redirecting the water. So yeah, from the outside, pretty well designed. And all of the landscaping here, right? So this is an HOA community, is taken care of by the HOA. Things like common maintenance issues like the roads and the roof are also covered by them. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and head inside. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my shoes off. So, un momento. All right, so shoes off, being respectful, right? Keep the house clean. This is an unstaged showing, so I'm gonna try to keep my voice a little bit lower. Otherwise, you're gonna hear a lot of echo. But anyways, coming straight into the home, you straight ahead, that's gonna be kitchen and living room. You have a dining room immediately to your left, and a staircase going up immediately to your right. And underneath this is the stairwell going down into the basement floor. All right, so coming back here into the dining room, you have a pretty good light fixture, and I actually haven't seen this in other homes in this neighborhood, but you actually have a stylized paneling. I don't know what the rules are on painting, right? But having white walls throughout is, I don't know if you're familiar with the agreeable gray, but it's the new agreeable gray. All right, so it's gonna make the area look more spacious, but also it's a template. If you wanna paint walls, do accent walls, like what I've seen here is the blue, sort of like a navy blue wall, complements with the white. And I believe this is actual, yeah, that's actual hardwood flooring. I'm assuming red oak. So nice spot here. Good natural lighting and a little bit of a porch if you want to set up some chairs to lounge outside. So going forward, next we have the kitchen. So this was built, I believe, in the 90s or 2000, early 2000s. I think it was early 2000s. So they started to do the kitchen islands and encroaching onto the open concept. So you have the bar area here for serving, and spot for bar stools if you wish. And I believe this to be an actual gas fireplace. I'd have to check the MLS for the facts. But yeah, pretty spacious living room. You could fit probably a sectional sofa with a TV mounted over the fireplace, which it looks to be designed for that. Coaxial cable there for internet. And then you have some Whirlpool appliances. So conventional stovetop, dishwasher. Now, again, this was built in early 2000s, I believe, so this kind of a sectional sink is pretty common. I know a lot of the more modern homes are gonna have one giant stainless steel sink. You could upgrade it if you want to, but that's what you have here. Walk-in pantry, pretty decent. It's very uncommon to find walk-in pantries, by the way, at this price point, especially of that size. So going over here, and you have I believe to be the first restroom. Yep. Smaller size, so it's a half bath, but it's obviously meant for just more common use. Okay, so with that, let's head upstairs. So they have carpet going all the way up the stairs. I believe, yeah, all of this is carpet up here too. Pretty good condition. Sometimes you have to be careful if you're selling a home with carpet. Let's say you have dogs, animals, or you're a heavy smoker. You could get a lot of contaminants stuck in the carpet, and it will affect the showing of your home. But in this particular case, the owner obviously took pretty good care of the home, so that's not an issue here. So this is the first bedroom going upstairs. It has its own full bathroom and a double vanity sink, which is huge. So this is more than likely the primary bedroom with a walk-in closet and a view outside. Let's see. I don't know if you could see very well. There's the retention pond, making sure water drains away from the homes. Let's see. Over here, okay, washer dryer hookup. Yep. I don't know if this home comes with a washer dryer, but that's something you could always request, or it's either listed or offered on the MLS. And then over here is the access panel to the attic. Now, I'm not going to go in there, not today, but I've been in the attic of one of these townhomes, and it's actually very spacious. It's a super nice attic. So if you ever need to store things up there or do some attic work, it's pretty accessible. So here's the second bedroom. It also has its own bathroom. So over here, standard 2-door closet with a bit of a built-in storage solution, making organizing a little bit easier. That's actually much nicer, especially if you have a lot of shoes and whatnot. And then their own full bath. Yeah, so I think I said this was a 2-bedroom, 4-bath. The primary entryway was a half bath, so maybe it's a half bath downstairs. In any case, let's go down there. So screened-in patio. So this time of year, right, it's October, super nice to have this because it's really immaculate weather. So you have a nice porch out here. Now this particular porch is in the shade, which may not seem like it's a big deal right now, but during summer, it means it's going to actually be cool to sit back here. So this is really nice. Also, you have your own outdoor storage area. It has a deadbolt, so that way people can't come up and steal anything. The HOA also maintains this deck. I've seen them send maintenance contractors out here before and literally service all of the decks. I don't know how often they do it, but I know they do take care of that. So your HOA fee is actually going to something, is what I'm saying. Yeah, so from here, HVAC or HVAC, looks like a bird nest right there. Yeah, some gravel. pretty decent spot. It's nice to have the trees right behind you as opposed to more development. All right, going downstairs. So this is the crazy thing, right? You see a 2-bedroom home listed on Zillow, and it just like, the space just keeps like coming out of nowhere. Like, look at this. It's like its own just spacious floor down here. Now I assume that this might have been unfinished basement at some point. So you come in here, there's this door. Yeah, like this is finished. Into your hot water heater, some storage. I mean, there's a 1 outlet. Now you would need some acoustic buffering down there, but it might be a small little office or like a crafts room. Another storage spot. Makes sense, utilizing the stairwell efficiently. Now, I would like to point out that they've had a thermostat on every single floor. So I assume this is split duct system, meaning you could heat the floors at different levels. Okay, so half bath, there's me. It turns out this place is 2 full baths, 1 per room, and 2 half baths. More storage, walk in. All right, there we go. I was opening this hoping that it would make it less echoey, so I hope you could still hear me fine, but yeah, this whole area, tile, this almost makes me think you could turn this into like a downstairs bar area if you really like that. Or if you have other guests over, you could easily set up a air mattress or another bed down here. With the exception of not having a shower, they have pretty much everything they need down here. This is pretty nice. That, plus that. What it does is it allows you to, all right, there we go. No echo. What it does is prevents people from intruding on it, right? This is just a simple locking mechanism. And so putting a bar on the bottom prevents them from just shoving it open, which they can do with enough force. And it has a double locking mechanism to keep you extra safe. So yeah, another storage room down here. Super nice. You have a little walkout here. I'm still in my socks. Yeah, decent grass area. I assume this fills up with water during the rainy season, so it's not like you're going to be playing in there. Maybe that breeds mosquitoes, but like, you could probably, yeah, there's a mosquito right there. You could probably just treat this area locally, and because it has this decking here, it'll help concentrate some of the smoke if you're trying to smoke the mosquitoes out. Power outlet right there. Yeah, pretty good. Let's go back upstairs. All right, so final thoughts about this home. This turned out to be a super good home to show because it captures the essence of what I was trying to get across about Northwest Raleigh. Particularly, it's one of the most affordable places to live with maintaining a high quality of life. Like here, you just have equal access to Durham, Cary, Morrisville, Raleigh, Umstead, Airport, right? If you need to go grocery shopping, Publix, I think Whole Foods, within 5-10 minutes, there's a Target, there's Lowe's, and there's plenty of things like Triangle Rock Club, there's running trails. These are all things that we're gonna check out tomorrow, actually. So definitely this is one of my most favorite spots to be at, simply because of how practical it is for the quality of life. All right, so with that, let me go and wrap up this house tour. So the last thing I wanna do today is actually go on a run. So Umstead Park is one of my favorite places to run in Raleigh. It's shaded, so it's cool, but it's also off the road, right? Super nice amenity to have, and from here you could literally just walk to the entrance. Now I'm gonna drive over to there's like a church parking lot that you could go to and then walk or bike from there. But before doing that, I just want to walk down the road slightly just to give you an idea of what the rest of the neighborhood has. Behind me over here and further down the street, the way that we came in, those are all single family residences, and they're pretty nice quality, right? Like you can see from over here. I don't believe any of those are for sale. I've seen one for sale last year. I almost tripped. Would not be going on a run if I roll my ankle immediately. But it's under the same HOA. So it's one development community. Towns at Umstead, I think, is what this whole community is called. You know, so there's single family options as well, but you're not going to get it for the price point you get here. Now you could buy homes in the 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000. You could also buy homes over $1 million, which we'll run by on today's run. But just wanted to show you that as another option. Also behind me, they have trash points. So you pretty much, whenever you're done, you just walk out, throw your trash in there, and then they manage the pickup and whatnot. So great spot. Let me know if you're interested. All right, so we're at the parking lot. The church, I literally think this is called Old Church Road or something like that. Something with a church in it. But if you could see right over there, there's no outlet sign. So that's actually an entrance to the Umstead Park, one of the trails. And all the trails inside the park are interconnected, but it's the largest, I think it's a state park that is located within Raleigh. Maybe it's not a state park, it's just a city park, but anyways, it's like the largest green space that's smack dead in the center of the triangle. I'm over here warming up because I really need to. Not gonna run terribly fast today, but the plan is to take you along this trail and then just show you some of the highlights, because where we were just at, the Towns at Umstead, is literally walking 5 minutes that way. I've only run this route, so I actually don't know what the walking time is, but anyways, definitely one of my favorite spots to run. So with that, along the entrance, I'll show you some of the higher price point options. I don't think they're for sale, but just so you get an idea of what I mean about how this area is very versatile. It caters to all price points while still maintaining a high quality of life. These types of homes behind me are all around this road that we're on leading to Umstead, and then the church road, whatever it's called. There's a lot of $1 million listings, just nice developed properties with big lots. You have some over that way, one right there which you can't see because they're also private, and then I think one or two further down to the left, as well as another one to the right. So just wanted to point that out so you could see more or less what this whole area actually looks like. So I've never seen this before, but according to this sign, walkers / hikers have right of way, but the ultimate right of way goes to horseback riding. Yeah, so these trails, there's like 2 or 3 different kinds of trails on here. There's trails rated for all 3, horseback, bike, foot traffic. Then there's some for just biking and foot, and then I think there's some just for foot traffic. There's a map. We're located up in the northeast corner, more or less. The main entrance is this Crabtree Creek entrance along the Glenwood Avenue, so to Raleigh and then northwest of Durham. And there's entrances all the way throughout. So we're gonna start up here, and we're gonna go all the way down on foot by running to Reedy Creek Trail, which apparently they have to tell people not to swim in. I think in total, probably no more than 2 miles one way. So we'll see. Anyways, with that, let's get going. One thing too is there are always benches throughout the entire trail. So if you ever get tired, need to sit down, need to give your dog a water break, you'll have plenty of those throughout. All right, so we are approaching the log art now. So let's take a look. Looks like a fallen tree. Used to be there, maybe, or I mean, I doubt they knocked it down naturally. This doesn't look finely cut, but chiseled into it is some really nice art. Looks like this one broke. Bit of a shame. Some owls, squirrels, rabbits, trees, whatever that is. Raccoon, probably. They're down there, I mean. Fox. Yeah, interesting. They have some nice hills like that. Now, that also means I'm gonna have to run back up this hill. Oh, here's the first creek. First river here. So, this blue trail here I think is a walking only trail, Sycamore Trail. I think this leads all the way up to the proper Umstead. Yeah, right there. Here, there. Visitor center is seen as sort of like the main entrance. We're down here. We made it that far. I'd say a little bit past halfway. Especially if you're alone, bring your phone. Never know if there's an emergency. I recommend taking a picture of that map when you get here. But yeah, nice area. Now it makes sense that right after the creek, which is the lowest point in the terrain feature, you have a big uphill. Feeling it for sure. All right, we're at our first major intersection. More or less a T-junction with a small little trail right there. So there were small offshoots along the way, but here, Reedy Creek Trail, first major junction for bike riders, and it'd be the first ever horseback rider I've seen here. Anyways, let's keep going. All right, here we are. So splits to the right to the lake, and then going left brings you back out to the other side of the trail. So more or less one giant loop. If you go to the right too, that's also a whole separate exit. So, like the sign said, no swimming in this area, but I don't know, this water looks a little more brown than I remember it being, so I kind of suspect anyone who's here probably would not want to swim in this either. Though I do see a fish that looks like it's barely alive in there. Still very scenic though. Very nice view. Bench over there to hang out. Entrance that way across the bridge. Yeah, good spot. So this is our turnaround point. Actually, so if you go right here, this does a giant loop around. I'll just go show you on this map. I know I said the run is the last thing we're gonna do today, but because I have to cross this on the way home, I used to come from the other direction. So we entered from up here, and there's the church road. So down here to the right, bottom right, there's an entrance. There's two entrances here in a neighborhood, but there's also important because that's where the Raleigh Greenway spits out. So the Greenway, I've mentioned in a lot of my other videos. I've briefly showed it in my historic Oakwood video, but we'll go and actually check out what that looks like on foot, because I have to leave and I'm gonna take Church Road down. But yeah, Reedy Creek Lake, we're here. So it's not that, it's actually closer to us than going back home, but yeah. So good run. Well, it's only halfway done. Super hot out again, you could probably tell, but yeah, let's get back. I'll show you the Greenway, and then that'll be it for today. I tell my grandkids they used to have to run uphill both ways to show real estate. I think that's believable. I have video evidence, right? I don't have one of those running armbands for your phone, so I hit it on my hip, cracked the screen. So sad. Coming up on the end here, so once I get to the pavement, I'm gonna walk the left. This route was a little bit harder than I remember it being, but nonetheless, good run, good trail. So, on to the Greenway. All right, so we're at the Crabtree Creek Trail, which if you're to go that way, no, this way on the trail, that leads actually eventually to the same lake that we ran to. But from here on, this is considered part of the Raleigh Greenway. Whereas once you go under that bridge, that overpass, you'll end up at Umstead Park. So I'm just gonna show a couple clips of this so you get an idea of it, so you can actually see what or how the Greenway changes, right? So one thing worth pointing out, you're on the Greenway because they have these Dero Fix-It, basically a bolted-in bike repair station. You could fill it up with gas, tighten some stuff. I actually don't know how the bikes work, but they're there. So, and then here's the trail map. So we're here, northwest. This goes all the way up. There's some switchbacks here and whatnot. These are all mile markers onto Raleigh Road. And this eventually follows all the way out to, I mean, basically where Glenwood is. This might be 440, and you can see some of the state trail going around. To get to where I was at previously, you gotta go through here. This spits out close to that T intersection that I mentioned. And then if you go down this way and you can cut through here, there's a small little creek there, and then go up. That leads you straight to the lake that I was at. So it's all interconnected. All right, so I'm at the base of the creek. It goes under this bridge here. And then there's a series of switchbacks just because this is fairly steep. So again, this is for bikes and foot traffic. No horses this time. So be careful when you're going down. People do walk this too, so it's not just for your own safety, it's for others as well. But yeah, here we have it, the Crabtree Creek. And this goes out to a giant lake down in Cary. But this is a pretty significant terrain feature here, and that's why we have the Crabtree Creek Mall. Well, I don't know if it's called the Creek Mall, but the Crabtree Mall, right? All right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow, we're gonna check out the mall, RTP's Boxyard, which is a restaurant, and go rock climbing so you can see what all that is like. All right, so we're back for day 2, and on today's schedule, we're gonna go rock climbing. But before that, I'm here to show you the greatest staple of Raleigh, North Carolina. It's actually not Cheesecake Factory, it's the Crabtree Mall. So after this, we're gonna go to the RTP's Boxyard and check that out. But this right here is about, I'd say about 5, maybe 10 minutes away from the home that I was showing you yesterday. Obviously with traffic, this has become a very congested area. Yeah, this is the largest indoor shopping center in the city. Specifically 1.3 million square feet. So it has over 200 retail stores in there. Belk's over there, has some banks on the far side. Plenty of restaurants, of course. I think that's a JCPenney down there. We'll check this out real fast inside and then head over to RHB. All right, so we're out of there. More or less what you saw is pretty much the entire mall. It just goes all the way left or all the way right. But that last spot that I showed you, the tailor, it's actually a pretty clutch spot. That's there, nice amenity to have. You can literally just buy your clothes, walk down there, get it tailored immediately on site, and they'll get it to you same day. So anyways, put that onto RTP. All right, so we are at the next spot over here. So you might recognize this behind me if you saw my last video. This is the RTP headquarters area, Research Triangle Park. And then what I didn't show you last time is this is Boxyard. So it's actually a series of shipping containers that were repurposed. One of the ways that they market themselves is by being green by design, right? But it actually has a really cool atmosphere. They do live events here, live events being like, I would say local music. I think they do comedy. They host board game meetups, and there's plenty of places to eat at. So one of the Korean barbecue places here, or not, it's not really Korean barbecue, it's like just Korean food in general. I've gone to a couple times, and they also have an escape room that I've been to. So yeah, we're gonna go inside and take a look at it. It'll be fairly quick, fairly small spot, so let's go check that out. All right, so this is their sign. As you can see, first floor, second floor. Most of what you have is on the first floor, covered pavilion, open courtyard, surrounded by a number of shops. This includes things like pizza. You have bakery items, bulgogi, that's what I was talking about upstairs. Well, that's all second floor. Tacos, escape room. So this has, I believe, 2 locations. So obviously we went to this one here. Barbecue, this is like charcuterie. Honey press, so that's a lot of stationery, stuff for writing letters, whatnot. Wine spot, board game spot. It's not like there's a ton, but what they do offer is pretty good. ate before coming out here, just because I'm gonna go rock climbing next, but the smell of barbecue's hitting me. But yeah, anyways, a lot of extra seating upstairs. And I found the barbecue smell. Literally 1 to 3 smokers right there. This place behind me is literally just called Pizza and Beer, so get straight to the point. But I actually don't know if that's what their name is. I have been there before, and apparently it's a brewery, or at least a distributor from their brewery. I don't really know. I think they said that they actually make stuff there too, so interesting spot. Alright, so I already left Boxyard, but forgot to mention that it's roughly a 15-minute drive from the condo from the townhouse that I showed yesterday. Just to put it in perspective, right? It's technically right on the border within Durham, but very easily accessible from Northwest Raleigh. And here we are. So this is the Raleigh Triangle Lock Club, or TRC for short. Sort of off in the corner because it's just a little loud over there, but this area right here, more or less when you come in, bathrooms for changing, whatever, showering, if you work out in the mornings, and place to hold your bags. And then, hey, how's it going? And then behind me, this is the ordering section, and on the other side is top rope. The walls here are only like 25 feet, I think, so smaller one, but still, like, they just make it harder basically by making the holes worse. So just, we're gonna get on the wall here in a second, but this is just a quick tour. So coming down this way, there's a workout studio here, straight ahead. So this is where they often have like TRX classes, core, fit, things like that. And then back here is an area where you could host things. They might have something going on, I'm not sure. But anyways, there's that. And then coming over this way, the workout area. So quite a bit for powerlifting. They go up to 100 with the dumbbells if you need it. Several powerlifting racks. And one of the things up there that you can see behind me is, especially the Raleigh PRC, they have a super good kids climbing team. So if you're looking for a nice activity for your kids to join, up there, yeah, regional championships, which generally believe that because the kids team's so good, they actually make all of these climbs much harder. So yeah, we'll go around the corner and see the top rope section. Okay, sweet. So I tried to get here early enough because tonight's going to be a super busy night. It's Wednesday night, which they tend to host like a whole bouldering thing. But yeah, so this whole area have it for ourselves right now. Double wrap top rope, some lead climbing over here, and some auto belays over there. So pretty convenient gym, centrally located, roughly 5 minutes from the townhome that I showed, and pretty good community. So I think every Friday they do, or maybe not every Friday, but one Friday every month they do a meetup, if you're interested in that. So anyways, with that, let's go and warm up and then do some climbing. Alright, so we're done rock climbing. Actually went back home to finish recording this outro because it ended up being too loud to film it at TRC, and then it ended up being too dark to film it in my car. Wanted to capture just some of my final thoughts. For me, Northwest Raleigh, and I think objectively speaking too, has a lot of amenities, right? It has the Crabtree mall, it has RTP right around the corner, equal access to Durham and downtown Raleigh, which means it has a great job market. The other major sell point for me is the price points of the homes. Price of the homes range from below median all the way to quite above. So even if you want to settle and plant roots there, you still have a progression. Like let's say you get a smaller place, and then as your family grows, you also subsequently get a bigger home. You have that there without having to change school districts and whatnot. And so ultimately it's the three major factors that I mentioned at the start of the video, right? It's the price of the home, affordability, the location, and then the access to amenities to ensure quality of life. Definitely check the place out if you want to see any of the homes. If you want to see the home or want to put an offer on the one that I showed, definitely reach out. And then thanks again to Kim and her team for setting up the showing. And with that, we'll see you next week. Thanks, bye.